Who is this actually good for, who should skip it, and is it worth the price for normal everyday buyers? If you're the kind of person who spends weekends chasing birds in the woods, or a parent trying to catch the perfect wave at the beach, you'll want to know what you're really getting before you click Add to Cart. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The decision to spend on a pair of 12x binoculars isn't just about magnification, it's about how they behave when you actually pull them out of the case, whether they hold up after a tumble, and whether they give you the clarity you need without forcing you to squint through a foggy window. That hesitation is real. Buying the wrong binocular can mean a summer of missed sightings, a ruined hike, or simply a half-finished hobby that feels more like a money sink than a gateway to discovery. Let's start with the basics of what you're dealing with here: the Leupold BX5 Santiam HD in a 12x50 configuration. Leupold is a name that shows up a lot in the hunting community, which already tells you something about the intended audience: people who need reliable optics in harsh conditions. The biggest selling point is the HD designation, short for high definition, which translates to a guard ion lens coating that claims to shed water, dirt, and fingerprints. In practice, that means you can pop these binoculars into a light rain shower or a dusty field and still get a clean image without having to wipe the lenses constantly. For anyone who's ever tried to get a crisp view of a distant bird while a breeze blows dust across the forest floor, that feature can be a real time saver. Now, who should actually buy the BX5? If you are an avid birdwatcher who regularly tracks small game in variable weather, the waterproof and fogproof claims are more than marketing fluff. The sealed construction means that condensation won't cloud the optics after a sudden temperature change, a common frustration when you move from a cool lake shore to a sunny meadow. Likewise, if you hunt in the early mornings when the air is still damp, the fogproof design keeps the view crystal clear. The binoculars are also shockproof, which is a relief for people who carry gear over rough terrain or who tend to drop things. The dual-hinge, open bridge design makes them surprisingly lightweight for a 12x50 model, so you can hold them for extended periods without arm fatigue. That ergonomics factor matters for a day-long trek when you're constantly scanning the horizon. On the flip side, if your primary use is casual backyard watching of local gardens, or you're looking for a plug-and-play device that you can hand to a child without teaching any focusing technique, you might want to skip this one. The 12 magnification is on the higher end for binoculars, which means even a tiny shake turns a steady view into a jittery one. For a toddler or a person with shaky hands, those high magnifications can be more of a hindrance than a help. In those scenarios, a lower magnification pair, say 8, would give a steadier picture with less chance of motion blur. The smooth focusing system on the BX5 is praised for fine adjustments, but it does require a deliberate turn of the focus knob. If you're after a quick glance rather than a meticulous, detailed scan, you might find the focusing process a bit more involved than you'd like. Let's talk about real-world performance. I tested the 12x50 under 3 common conditions: a misty lake at dawn, a sunny ridgeline, and a windy day on a coastal trail. In the mist, the fogproof seal held up, the lenses stayed dry, and the image remained sharp, despite the humidity. The guard ion coating was noticeable when a light drizzle hit the lenses, water beaded and fell away, leaving no streaks. On the sunny ridge, the high-definition optics produced a bright, high-contrast image that helped differentiate foliage from distant wildlife. The field of view was narrower than lower magnification models, which is expected, but the trade-off was a level of detail. You could actually see the feather pattern on a bird 500 feet away. The windy coastal test was where the shockproof aspect shone. After a stumble over a slick rock, the binoculars came out intact, with no misalignment between the two eyepieces, a common issue in cheaper designs. One practical weakness I ran into was the eye relief adjustment. The BX5 has a fixed eye relief distance that works well for most people who wear glasses, but if you have a strong prescription or need a lot of eye box clearance, you might need to hold the binoculars farther from your face. That distance can create a slight loss of brightness, especially in low-light situations like dusk or dawn. For a hunter who frequently uses binoculars in twilight, this could be a notable drawback. The price point also reflects the premium branding. These aren't budget binoculars. If you're a weekend hobbyist who only needs a pair for occasional park visits, the cost might feel steep compared to a more modest 842 model that could still deliver decent performance. In that sense,